Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Welcome to Studio Chatter. As summer comes to an end, it's time for school to start.
Oh boy, I'm Stacy Beck, but before we talk about homework, we'll visit with the maker of this t-shirt.
So cute. And I'm Angie Murphy. We'll talk about the mental wellness of our kids and how to help them grow.
And what going back to school means for the teachers. All that and more coming up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. What happened to our summer?
Wow, it's flown by, right?
It has, but I feel like we just got to the warm part and now it's school.
The warm,
right?
the warm part?
The warm part. I feel like we had a cool June and then it got hot.
The really hot part.
Yeah.
Okay, what's so weird is the last 2 nights I've seen football players out in their full uniforms and I look and it's like 97 degrees. I'm like, why do we do this to
I think
ourselves?
it's very unhealthy. I don't know why they do that, but they do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You guys, we have so much catching up to do. We have not been together since we filmed at Reams back in June for our Fiesta segment.
That's been
And we've been busy.
a month.
And we need to tell our viewers that we are wearing certain shirts to represent what we've been doing in July.
Yes, it's true.
Let's start with
let's
start
go
with Barbie.
Could you put on your glasses so you just are complete?
Well, I need the white ones then, but
Oh,
my
I love
Barbie.
it.
So you got all dressed up.
yes,
in your
I
pink
need the
attire.
ponytail too,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I had on my
totally.
Barbie pony, and yeah, we made it a girls' night out. I think a lot of people have been dressing up to go to the movie and have their pink parties and grab all the girls and see the movie. So it was a lot of fun. So I don't know if you've heard much about, I guess the controversy maybe surrounding the movie.
Fill us in.
Very minimal. So
I knew nothing.
Okay.
So going into it, I mean, just go with an open mind because it's a lot of fun. I mean, we grew up in the Barbie generation, so if you played with Barbies at all, I was one of those that maybe didn't play so much with Barbie. I mean, I had
Natasha, that surprises me.
I know, right?
Well, I guess I didn't play with dolls a lot. I did dress up Barbie. Like, I like to dress up Barbie and
That's
have
not surprising.
No.
so all the clothes, all the shoes.
And
Yeah,
then you were done. You didn't want to have
See,
Ken come
me
get you in
either,
the
though.
Jeep.
Yeah, I didn't
I
like
had
the
a full-on
part.
party at my woohoo, and
The dream house.
Yeah.
Did you have the dream house
Or
and the
cardboard
van?
boxes and pull your chair in your bedroom over.
No, I think I was, believe it or not, I was kind of the mischievous one. I was, when my cousins would come to visit, we would cut the hair. I was the one that would always maybe
Your mom's
want
like,
to-
Natasha, we have to buy
style their
another
hair.
Barbie.
That was the only time I ever wanted to really do hair. We'd whack the
This
hair.
could be a whole 8-minute segment on Barbie. Why didn't we ever think
totally.
of this?
I know.
So it was good. You liked it.
I mean, it was really, really good in that aspect because, I mean, there are so many different Barbie types that you could talk about, right?
Okay.
This one, of course, is built all around stereotypical Barbie, so the Barbie that everybody knows and loves and dresses up. But then it kind of goes off into, maybe weird Barbie, the one that you do kind of color, and the one that's always maybe in the sandbox or stuck in the splits.
Or has her hair chopped
Yes, has their hair cut off. And yes, so
maybe once Ange and I see it, we'll swing back here at this table and
let's
talk
revisit it.
more.
yes, and maybe even the forgotten Barbies, maybe Skipper, Malibu, the ones that have kind of gone away, and then Ken, of course. So that's kind of the whole plot of the movie, right? So what about Ken? And always trying to get the approval.
Okay.
Yeah, Ken got kind of forgotten, didn't he?
Right.
It was just an extra.
Yeah, Ken doesn't really survive, unless Barbie
Barbie's
allows. Right.
Oh, wow. She has some power.
Yeah, she sure does.
Exactly.
That's
There you
fun.
go. You're right on track there. So what have you been doing?
Well,
She's had the best
it's been
couple
a
weeks
good,
of her life, right?
Yeah, it was good. I do love Fiesta Days, and I loved our craft vendor booths this year. And when I saw this booth with just Spanish Fork t-shirts, I went right to her. And we had never met. I started talking to her. She's from Spanish Fork. I'm like, we're filming next Thursday. What is your schedule like? And was able to get her right on.
Stop. That is so cute.
This is
I
like,
love this throwback.
the
It's even
Ringer
cuter
tees.
in person.
Yeah, and this is the old Spanish
Don.
Fork logo.
Yeah.
And so I can't wait to have her in studio.
That's going to be
Janice
super
Nelson.
fun.
But the event went well. You and Pete did a fabulous job.
Oh, thank you. We had so much fun. It
emceeing
was
the
a
parade.
fabulous parade.
Good.
We
What was
always
one of
have-
your favorite parts of Yesterdays this year? I mean, there's always the ones, but did something stick out different this year?
For me, oftentimes it's the Pyro musical when they're playing that 20 minutes of music and we're just laying there and the fireworks are going off and it's booming and you can feel it, but the music and there's 10,000 people there. It just it makes me teary almost.
Yeah, that's
just
cool.
a community
and just
coming
being with
together.
your family and just
Yeah,
there.
but just seeing so many people. By the end, definitely exhausting.
Oh, I'm sure.
But so wonderful.
I'm sure.
Do you have a favorite?
I, of course, love the parade because my family joins during the parade.
Okay.
And I love the entertainment in the park because that's where
And
a
you
big
were
part of that
helping
is
there
well.
too. Yes.
So that was
Yeah,
great
and
too.
Natasha
And
had a
I
couple-
love to shop, of course. So
We ran into each
vendors.
other at the sidewalk.
that's
sales.
always fun. And you, my
Yeah.
friend, you're going to be here next
I'm
year
gonna
during
be
that
here
time, right?
next year. Yep, we're still going to California, but I kind of said, hey, we need to tweak our time schedule. So I'm going to
Good.
be here. So put me to work, Stace.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
All right.
Yep.
And then how was your trip?
It was so great.
Alaska.
We went to Alaska as Rhett's family's adult siblings and mom and dad took us, and we had a great time. Went to 5 different ports.
Was
got
it a-
to
it was a
see-
cruise?
It was a
Okay.
cruise. So we started with a cruise from Vancouver, and I had never been to Canada, so we spent a day there and did e-bikes all around, and it was just gorgeous weather. And then we did 5 different stops and saw 3 different glaciers, and I, danced around a totem pole like Betty White.
I loved seeing that.
It was good. And then afterwards, a few of us stayed on and went fishing for a couple of days. And then we were able to take a plane up to Denali and land on a glacier. And it was amazing. Like some things you can't describe.
Yeah.
And it was one of those times where it just kind of brought emotions. Like
Yeah.
this is really just magical.
Like top of the world type.
Top of the world. And he flew us around the base and then all the way to the top. And it was just cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that a highlight?
That definitely was my highlight. I told
Okay.
my father-in-law, I said that was something magical. The whole cruise was amazing, but to me that was like an experience.
Okay.
Right?
And you're in long pants, long sleeve shirts the whole
the
time.
whole time.
Right? Okay.
I was in heaven. It was like that 60-ish degree, a little drizzly. We got good weather though. It only kind of rained like a couple days, but not for very long. So it was perfect weather.
Oh, I'm glad you got away. And
It
just
was-
you
it was
and Red,
needed.
That was good.
Wow.
Yep. So
Good
thank
for
you.
you.
Yep. Alaska's a win.
Okay.
So you're ready to transition
I'm
into
ready for a tan, guys. I feel like I'm white.
We have
I'm
a few
really
weeks
laid by the
left.
pool. Yep.
We have a good show lined up.
Yes, we do.
Coming up next on Studio Chatter, we'll talk to a t-shirt maker we met at Fiesta Days. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Nothing lets others know how you feel like a t-shirt. Let's welcome Janice Nielsen from Cotton Tree Tees to the table.
Welcome, welcome. Okay, I want to introduce Janice
Yes.
just because it was so cute. She was setting up her booth at the craft fair.
Yep, with 5 of my kids, I think, were helping me.
At Fiesta Days, and I had just got my
Perfect, get 'em to work.
tri-tip steak sandwich, wandering around talking to people as they were setting up. But I like the intro, Natasha, because when you say t-shirts let you know how they feel, and like when I saw the Dragon Late
Yes.
in the 798, I was like,
this is
oh,
the original.
oh. I was like, who are you? You must be from Spanish Fork. So tell everybody who you are and a little bit about you.
Okay, so I am I'm not from Spanish Fork. I grew up in Springville. I'm a Red Devil. I know some people are like, oh no. But when I was in high school, I dragged Maine all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the communities were kind of
Yes,
connected.
they and that's kind of why I love the shirt, is because you can be from anywhere and you dragged Maine, right? It was kind of what you did
Yeah.
as a high school kid and on the weekends. But my husband is from Spanish Fork, and we live here, and we lived here for 15 years, and we've got 6 kids, and we plan on staying here for a really long time.
So you're from Spanish Fork.
So I feel like I really am from here, and I really resonate with everything here. I really do love it so much.
your family is spread out, like your extended family. Tell us
Yes.
all the connections.
So my husband's family.
Yes.
So they are, I think my husband's like maybe a 5th generation Spanish Fork.
Oh, wow.
So like his parents, his grandparents, like his siblings.
So, and I think I told you at this part, but his parents are Clyde and Norma Nilsson.
Yes.
And
Nilsson Field.
so
Yep.
your husband grew up in my husband's ward on the same
Yep.
block. They all played together. Your father-in-law married my husband and I.
Great.
Stop it.
At the salon, yes.
Yes.
So Clyde Nilsson has, Clyde, if you're watching this, which you better be, because
probably
this
is.
is your daughter-in-law.
He probably is.
I love you. No, I love Clyde. And then Stone Drug Clyde. Like,
Yeah.
that's where we
Yes.
all go get our drugs. I mean, he's
know.
retired now.
Our good drugs.
Our legit drugs.
The ones we're supposed to get.
Yes, those drugs.
And our t-shirts. Okay.
Yes.
So
our
tell us
t-shirts.
how this started.
Oh, so this started, it's kind of not really a long story, but I just saw other towns. I love to buy t-shirts when I go on vacation. Like, for me, people get like t-shirts, or they'll get like mugs, or they'll get
Like Sitka.
Yeah,
Right?
I love
Bought like
t-shirts.
4 different shirts
Yes.
when I was traveling.
It's a good memory. And so Doug and I would just brainstorm, and we saw one for like Springville, and I was like, we need one for Spanish Fork. And so we came up with the Dragon Lake in the 798.
I'm going to hold this up just
Yes.
so people can see it.
And I actually sat on this idea for like 2 or 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, like I was kind of scared. I don't know if anyone would like it. And so last year I
Yes.
ordered just some and put them on Marketplace, and I think I sold maybe like 200 or 300.
Stop it.
Yeah, really
So
fast.
people were ready for that.
Yes.
So I was the original from this
she
table.
was. She was.
She was a stalker.
That's fine.
I was one of the stalkers. So where did you post this originally?
Just on like Marketplace on Facebook.
Is that where I saw it, right? Okay.
Really?
Because I'm like, I need one of those.
Yep.
Because I grew up in Nephi, and so I used to come to, Dragmain and Spanish Fork. So I'm like, I need one of those. I will come over to your house, picked it up.
fine.
Yes.
So Nephi people would drag.
Oh, yeah.
Spanish Fork
yes.
me too.
Are you kidding?
what?
He works
we would
for
get
me.
like
Us Provoites, yeah, we went to we were
a little
in
more-
the street in Provo.
Yeah.
we would get all decked out to come to Spanish Fork to drag me.
Yep.
I
Yes.
love it,
Yes.
guys.
I remember we were talking like, if they don't know what 798 is, they shouldn't even be allowed to drive.
No.
There were a lot of people that didn't know. Like,
Yeah.
what does 798 mean? And they're like, oh yeah. It finally would click for.
So we're like, if you know, you know, which takes us into the next.
favorite tea that
and
we all
that's kind
love.
of how this one came about, was because we kind of kept saying, if you know, you know.
Which I did not know that that's what that stood for
It took
until
me a minute
this.
too. I know. My teenagers probably had helped me with that one too.
But I love
love
the
that.
design
It
and the
reminds
mountain.
me
Vintage
of 70s.
a sunset, which is why like the Dragon Main thing, kind of a sunset, very much like the time you would be out dragging Maine. That's kind of like how it
So
started.
I
are they
love
just
that.
too young for the 798?
Yes.
because it's 801.
You never had to use
No,
801
we
till,
never
like,
did,
15
right?
years ago.
And then there's 794.
It's only for landlines.
But the OG was 798.
I know.
Yeah.
You had a whole class reunion wearing these in the
Yeah.
parade.
Did.
I loved
Was
that.
one of your family?
No, someone found some friend that was in that group, messaged me on Facebook and just said, hey, we saw your design. We want to know if you'll make us a bunch for a class reunion. And I said, yeah, let's figure it out. So we just added the class of 2003 at the bottom and mass printed what the sizes they wanted. It was kind of surreal, but so cool.
So this
I
is
bet.
one that I think, I don't know if I need to stand
I
up
love
to
that
say
That's
it.
an OG one.
This was
That
like
was-
the original Spanish Fork City.
So that was my husband's idea because that was the mascot when he was in high school. So that
Well,
was like
he must be old.
He's kind of old.
Because we don't even know who this character is now. We have the Zorro one.
Well, that
I
they
know.
called it the Speedy Spaniard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
But I feel
kinda-
like I see it like on old city stuff
Yeah.
too. Like he was everywhere.
He was.
Yep. And
Okay, and now we
That is
come
awesome.
like kind of to some newer.
so this is a newer
Parts of
one,
Spanish,
and
right?
Yes, this one remained like was
better
so
hold it up.
much
Yeah,
like
hold that up.
what you would think of Spanish Fork, like the windmills and like the silos and the barn, like very much like a picture if not drawn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
just
that.
very memory. And then the puff print are just super simple. Anyone can wear them.
You can wear it to any event.
Yes.
Yep.
Any kid that's younger could wear it just
Yeah.
because.
Like
it's
if your
fun.
favorite color is not red, which would be really unfortunate.
Right,
your
if
favorite
you live
color's
here,
not red,
right?
you could get it in.
Great.
But if you're into hunting or the
Oh,
outdoors,
Yes,
right?
that color too.
But you still want to support the community.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got some
and
green.
I know this one comes in a sweatshirt.
So I have some sweatshirts of left from last
So
year
this-
when I ordered.
okay.
But if I get enough interest, I will probably order sweatshirts again in the fall, winter.
Any other sweatshirts?
So I did do the Dragon Lake sweatshirt last fall, winter, and I actually sold out of those.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. So I will probably do more again.
Sweatshirts in the fall.
Hoodie. I love sweatshirts. I love
yeah.
hoodies.
I love a good pullover.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're just comfy.
So do you do other custom work or designs,
So-
or we just kind of?
That's an interesting question. Because
Okay.
a lot of people ask me that question, and I was like, I guess I never really thought about that. I have someone help me design this.
Okay.
So it's not all me. I get ideas and just was like, okay, I want this and this, and I want them put together. So, I mean, it's a possibility. I'm never going to say no. I
Okay.
love to help people and try to figure it out.
And
It's
since
fun.
you don't have a storefront, Janice, what is the best way people can find you and order this?
Right now, I'm just on Instagram.
Okay.
So it's under Cotton Tree Tees. And that's just the best way I do it so
Okay,
far.
so they can just message you and say, do you
Yep.
have this in a large?
Yep.
So do you have these like on your Instagram page, you just have them all easily, like you can just...
Yeah, I need to go
Okay.
through and update it since Fiesta Days. I just went through barely yesterday and recounted what I had.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
But they can easily see, oh, I want
yeah,
this
I
one
want
and
this
this.
yeah.
design or
Just
this
tell me
one.
design, the color and size, and it's.
And they can just swing by easily and pick it
They
up.
can pick it up at my house, or of course I can mail them. I'm happy to.
Well,
mail
there's
them.
so many fun things that this would be like for bunco groups, or
Someone came about
I know
for bunco.
some people still get together for club.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well, and I feel like we don't have a store that has like Spanish Fork
There
themed
isn't.
anything, right? Which just surprises me being in this town.
Well, a lot of parents have kids who play sports.
Yes.
We all have that, which I love. I'm a
Right.
huge, we're a big baseball family, so I have all
Yes.
those stuff for my kids. But this way, everyone can feel included.
And with me being in the city, I
Yes.
have, I mean, a big chunk in my
tons.
closet of city stuff.
But this is fun.
But I think that's what drew me to
Yeah.
your booth is like that Spanish Fork, but not like official Spanish
Right.
Fork. And so it drew me right in.
Yeah.
It's
So
just fun.
Great idea.
It is never too early to start thinking about Christmas.
true.
Yes.
It would be
It's so
super
good
original.
It would be. It's sweatshirts.
I know. So
Christmas
sweatshirts are going to come soon.
Okay.
I just have to,
We
figure
love
out.
it. We love you.
coming.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad we met you.
Me too.
Great idea. Super cute.
Thank you.
Coming up, the days are counting down to the start of school. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The first day of middle school can be a little scary, not only for a student, but also for a teacher. Let's welcome Melissa Roundy, a new teacher at the Spring Canyon Middle School, to the table.
Hi, Melissa.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Middle school.
Right.
Oh boy, bless your soul.
Yeah, true.
I'm new to middle school this year too, so
What have you been teaching?
third grade at Art City Elementary, and so
Tell us a little bit about you then.
Yeah, how you two know each other.
Yeah.
How do you do
well,
this?
we are both from Nephi. I grew up in Nephi. I grew up idolizing Natasha. She had the cool.
We still
I made her say that.
Yes, she had the cool Camaro, so I wanted the cool Camaro. Yeah.
Did you ever go play Barbies at her house? Well,
No, we never
probably
did.
play Barbies, huh?
And we might have to do that.
But then she did get a cool Camaro.
Did she? You were
Later, you did, huh?
inspiring.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
She's very
But
inspiring. Yes.
we did grow up in Nephi. You now live in Spanish Fork.
Yes.
You're now teaching school in Springville.
Yep.
But you've been teaching school for how many years now?
I taught 4 years at Art City.
Okay.
And now I'm going to teach at Spring Canyon Elementary in Springville.
And what grade?
Or Spring Canyon Middle School.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. 6th grade.
Okay, that's what I thought. And
Yeah.
so why the change?
Well, I love teaching 3rd grade, and I loved teaching reading. I taught reading, and I learned the reading programs really well.
Okay.
I saw so much growth in the students, and I thought, this is where my passion is.
Okay.
And if I can ever just teach reading and focus on reading,
You want to do that.
I want to
that
do
makes
that.
sense.
So the Spring Canyon principal, she hired me off of a recommendation from another teacher there to teach reading, my dream. So I couldn't pass it up.
So you're only teaching reading then? So
Reading.
they have rotations in 6th grade, yeah.
Yep.
So it's just a
obviously
reading
the
class,
reading, yes.
not English.
Not English, just the reading.
Okay,
Good
so
point. I would have thought,
right?
why aren't they together?
Right,
Well,
so tell
they-
us why not.
They have a writing teacher, and then they have a reading teacher and a math teacher, and they're called pods. And the students will rotate between the 3 pods.
So math, writing, and reading.
And reading.
You probably knew this. We're maybe out of the
Yeah,
loop
this
a
is
little
different.
bit.
I only learned that last year because I was a new mom to middle
With a
school.
sixth
So
grader.
yes,
Mom.
because pods were kind of new to me. So they're so lucky to have you, and it would probably be your dream because
I know, I'm like, what are you
Reading.
currently
Yes,
reading?
I know, well,
like, are you in a book club? I mean, yeah.
6th grade literature. So if that interests you,
Maybe not.
it is very good.
well, but I would love to dig into your mind because there's one thing, reading is one thing, right? Because my kids have actually been very good readers. Like they can read the words, like blah, 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 go through the whole book. But the comprehension part is always tricky. And you always see that at the end of the year test. Like they did really, really well reading.
Right.
Why the comprehension? Like they kind of didn't really know what
They're not paying
Like
attention.
zoning out while they're reading.
And that's exactly what I'll be teaching is not necessarily the phonemic awareness, the sounding out. That's a lot of elementary stuff. I'll be teaching the reading comprehension. And so how to summarize, how to find like the author's purpose, like what is the author trying to tell me, text evidence. So
Okay.
they really are, now they're going to be focusing on what they're reading and what they can get out of a book.
And I imagine 6th grade, that's a really important like jumping stone into like high school and more adulting that they're actually understanding. I think that elementary is just like learning the words.
Right.
But the understanding is where
Right.
yeah, it all comes together. And then how does that help with other elements of school? Your reading comprehension.
Well, math, word problems in math, writing. I know that they do a lot of writing about things that they've read. And so just that comprehension and is so important, especially
I think like in history, for example,
Yeah,
like
in
the history class, like
history.
if you read a page and then you have a test, but you don't retain what you just read.
Right, exactly. Science, anything that you're reading, and it's really good for them to learn strategies of summarizing because you do get a huge amount to read, and you need to be able to just pull out what's important.
Yeah.
And
So are you going to give class assignments or let them choose, or a little bit of both?
so I'm going to have 2 books that we read, and I'll split the class up into 2 groups, and then we'll focus on reading groups. And then the comprehension skill that's taught that week, we'll focus on pulling that out of the book.
Okay.
So I'll know two books at a time really well, and then they will answer questions about those books to
Okay.
test their comprehension knowledge.
So it's almost like going slower, like through it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yes.
they're like, read this book in the semester or in a month. And
Right.
so I think that's when kids are like just trying to read it, but
Right.
not really like holding on to the information.
Right, and that's really what we're looking for is how much are they getting from it, and they're not just like reading materials that are like text as far as school text. They will be enjoyable
Yeah.
books at the 6th grade level that they hopefully will enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get to pick them. With it being my first year, I'll pick the books and then I'll see, oh, was this one good?
Yeah.
Or
How
was
did
this
they
one-
like it?
Yeah, how did they like it? So
So do you prefer, and are you giving them actual hard books, like, and not electronic books?
yes, books, and I love
Bravo.
books. I love to hold
I
it.
do too.
So yes, we do. We have a fantastic library at Spring Canyon that does have whole class sets, which is anywhere from 9 to 19 of
Love that.
of the same books. So I'll be able to utilize that.
I wanted to ask, like back when I had kids, they had 20 minutes a night at home that they were supposed to read. Is that still a thing? Like sign off, parents have to sign it off?
You know, when I taught 3rd grade, we required actually 25 minutes, and the kids had a calendar, and then they got the Pizza Hut coupons
Oh, okay.
still, so they still do the book it, and so yeah.
So in elementary, they're still saying 25 minutes. Do you agree?
They should.
Okay.
Well, that's the only homework, right, that they're supposed to
Oh,
have.
Right. Yeah.
Really?
So
Everything
that's also
else
I
is
would
to be
send
done
home.
at school.
Right. And the
Oh my
the
gosh.
only homework they're supposed to have
reading.
is just reading.
And will that carry on now into middle school?
They'll do a lot of their reading in class. I'm hoping that I give
Okay.
enough time for them to do it. If not, they can always check the book
Because
out.
I kind of feel like a kid. I'm a lot happier if I get my 20 minutes a day of reading, and like I really just it
My
calms
kids all
me down.
loved it too.
Like let's just get a little bit of reading, even if it's just a chapter real quick before bed.
Right. It is so good. It's something that you just need to keep doing. So I don't know. I feel like if you quit, it's hard to get back into
Get back
it.
into the habit, maybe.
So I love that you do that, because I think kids should continuously be reading.
Well, and reading is like learning and obtaining knowledge, and it just broadens the mind and
Right.
experience of life.
I have a
guess.
question for you. What's one of your own personal favorite books?
Ooh, does it have to be a school book?
No.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Please no.
Okay.
One book that you would like even recommend to read our viewers or myself.
There is a book from Jennifer Cruz, and it's called Bet Me.
Bet me.
Bet Me, and I have
like
read
her
it. Like you do too.
I like
three
her,
or four times, and it is hilarious. It's so witty and so fun to read. It's humongous, but like I said, I've read it 3 or 4 times, and I just love it. I
that's
love
good to know.
anything by Jennifer Cruz is really good.
All right.
So
Any fears going back to school?
I think I might have the same fears that the middle schoolers have. Am I going to get lost?
What to
Am I
wear?
gonna have friends? What-
Are you going to go
yes.
school shopping?
I have hit up the anniversary sale already. It's a little different because I want to dress a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
I don't know.
True.
The third graders, they love polka dots and cute
yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
Paris, my daughter, is like, you need to step it up. For
You gotta be
middle
cool.
school. So,
Yeah, a little cool.
Hey,
Yes.
we know someone.
Yeah, we sure
could
do.
help
I
you.
know. I think so.
This Barbie girl.
You probably wouldn't even have to go to this store. You could just go to her closet.
We may have been shopping together
That is
before.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is very good.
We're definitely going to have to come even back.
She could moonlight as a personal shopper.
Best of luck.
Thank
I'm so
you.
excited for
Thank
you.
I am so excited. I am very excited to take this new leap into middle school. So
You're going to be great.
Oh,
you got
thank
great
you.
energy.
Thank you so much, and
You're
thanks for
welcome.
having me.
Of
This
course,
was so
they're
fun.
going to love you.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll talk about the stress of starting the school year and how to cope. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The stress of a new school year can really push your mental state. To help us with a comprehensive plan towards mental health, let's welcome Becky Moeller from Lifehouse Body and Soul to the table. Welcome.
Oh, welcome back, Becky.
Thank you so much. It's great to be
It's
there.
been a year,
Yeah, about a year.
a little more or less. Okay.
Yes.
Well, you're from Spanish Fork.
Yes.
Let's hear about who you are.
Yes, I'm from Spanish Fork. I've lived here about 15 years.
Okay.
I grew up in Wisconsin.
Oh, I like
Everyone
the
loves,
accent.
everyone loves when
yeah.
I say that word. My family's all from there, but I've lived here since I attended BYU, and
Okay.
I taught actually English at Spanish Fork Middle School.
You did?
Back in the day, and then
Were you Moeller back then?
Yeah, I was
too?
Moeller back
Okay.
then, and then I got into teaching fitness, and I spent 15 years teaching group exercise at University of Brigham Young University
Okay.
and UVU.
Oh.
And yeah, my life's just gone all over the place, but Spanish Fork has been
Okay, so you,
yeah.
kids?
Kids, 5 kids.
5 kids?
Yes, my oldest just graduated, and he's going off to Price, so that's big.
To Price.
Yeah, to play soccer at USU Eastern. Yeah,
That's a big transition when your first one
yes,
It is.
spreads
It is
their
a
wings.
big transition.
I feel like
luck.
that first and the last are kind of
Yeah.
trickier stages.
Yeah, so we're feeling all the feels.
Yeah.
Changes the dynamics
Yeah.
a little
Yes,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah, the fam.
And you work at Lifehouse.
Yes, yeah. I run
Tell
Lifehouse
us-
Body and Soul.
Tell our viewers like where that is and what they offer.
Yeah, so Lifehouse Body and Soul is a fitness and mindfulness studio in Salem. It's right south of Spanish Fork. It's in the big lighthouse building.
Kind of by Stokes.
Right by
Easy to
Stokes.
spot.
Yes, very easy to
Yes.
spot. My partner is Nisha Woodhouse, who runs the dance studio. And it's a comprehensive approach to mental health and wellness. And it's really kind of a conglomeration of my background in fitness
Okay.
and in group exercise and movement. And then I developed experience and skills and certifications in trauma recovery and trauma healing and mindfulness and meditation, and realized all of these things go together.
Oh.
So we really offer a kind of a platform to do all the things. If you go to therapy or if you practice mindfulness, all the things that people say, these are the things you should be doing. We offer
The whole
platform
spectrum. Okay.
for you to actually come do those things.
In a group setting.
Different things. So there's 4 pieces to what we do. You want me to kind of go through
Yes,
those 4?
because I was just going to say, what is mindfulness? Explain that to me.
Mindfulness is kind of the practice of looking inward. So we kind of like become a student of ourselves, mind, body, spirit. What's happening inside of me? So learning how to be present, right? So we practice in 4 different ways. So one of the pieces that we offer is embodiment, and this comes from my group exercise background. So we offer all different kinds of movement. Fitness, it's a standalone fitness program if people want to use it that way, but really the intention is to help people find their center mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and the fitness and the physical benefits are the icing on the cake. But each daily practice that we offer includes like a check-in, like where am I, what am I feeling right now, what kind of energy am I carrying with me, what do I need to release today, and then we use the practice. First we hit a cardio and we use our bodies to release energy. We do kickboxing, we do lots of breath work, and then we bring it back down with either yoga, Pilates, or tone, and then we end in meditation. And our meditations are always guided.
This is my time I work out.
I love that down slope.
Yeah, it's like it's a whole piece. And our guided meditations correlate with our curriculum. So we have a mindfulness-based curriculum that teaches different strategies and practices that range from anything from like surrender, so like just the spiritual practice of surrendering, letting go of what I can't control, to things like internal family systems theory, recognizing the different parts of our personalities that kind of, we all have different parts. So it's everything from kind of these big wisdom tradition ideas to like pretty specific modern therapies or neuroscience, things like what's happening in the brain networks when we're activated or when we're in a trauma response. So we work with all of these and offer different tools week to week. And the movement correlates with the course that we teach. So it's really very comprehensive, it's very educational, and it also is community. So we study in community, we have weekly classes, and we open our books and we read and we discuss how am I seeing this in my life? How does it apply to what's happening in my family and my personal life? And then we're like, hey, this is the practice we're working with this week. Whether it's we're observing our emotions from a place of loving compassion, or the practice of self-compassion with specific mantras. We have different practices week to week that we focus on.
So do you do exercise and then those every time you meet?
Well, so we have a daily exercise class.
Okay.
And then once a week we study in the course.
Okay, and can people jump in at any time? Or
People
is it
can
like...
jump in at any time. However, we are starting a new session with the school year. So actually this is like a perfect time to talk about it.
Yeah,
because
it is.
people can jump in anytime. All of the concepts are recursive, but they also build on each other. And so it really is ideal to jump in. August 21st is when we start.
Okay.
So that week. So
week of school.
I like that you asked that, because I had that same question. You have the book work like once a week that you need to be there for, right?
Yeah.
And then you can come as often as you want for the other classes.
Exactly.
And what about pricing? Do you kind of decide ahead of time, yes, I can make it to 2 times a week?
Yes,
or?
so the course itself has its own, you sign up for the course, and then if you want to do the embodiment stuff, you can either do unlimited, that's $40 a month, or once a week for $20 a month. So those are kind of your 2 options with that.
So $20 a month?
Yeah, for the embodiment, but the course is a different piece. That's $90 a month, or if you pay up front, you get a 20% discount.
No, that's super helpful.
Yes, and it's really such an affordable approach to mental health and wellness, because we get comparative outcomes to therapy with what we're doing, but one therapy session is typically like $130.
Right.
And I don't like to compare it, because I actually think these actually complement each other.
Yes.
Therapy absolutely complements what we do. You work with a therapist and they're have very specialized training to go deep with you in certain ways. But then they say, go home and do these things. And most of their clients never do these things.
And you're there to
they say, go
To
home and
facilitate
meditate.
that.
Go home and get into your body on a day. You should be in your body, because even just being in the body resets our brains in a way that can't be duplicated in any other way.
Yeah.
You know, we get the dopamine hit. We actually shift the network of our brain that we're in. And when we're in depression and anxiety, we're in this dorsal attention, or the default network of our brain. And when we exercise, we're able to shift into a different network where we're in the present moment. And that's why we experience like this sense of presence. Yes.
I've never had it explained like that before.
Yeah.
That's really
Right?
cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. So it's like these pieces all really go together. And so if you're looking for something that's like, I just know I need to work on stuff. I don't know exactly what I need. I don't know
That's
what.
how I feel. I should work on something. I don't know what, but I bet there's some improvement.
You need the shift, or just like the different, like get off the treadmill of like I'm just surviving. It really, that's one thing our clients say a lot. Like I've never felt so much clarity and intention in my life. So even though it takes time, you know, everyone's like time is like so valuable and precious and so like scarcity mind, right? Like, but they say since I've started, I feel like I have more time, because I feel like I'm more centered, I have more intention with what I'm doing, I have more clarity, and so I feel like I actually get more done, even though I've given an hour and a half of my day to go be at the studio and practice. So it's so interesting.
So speaking of time, how is that scheduled? Are you offering classes in the morning, in the evening?
Yes. So our general practice time is 9 a.m. So it's not accessible to everyone, but I do have an 8:30 p.m. Practice once a week.
Okay.
And then a 6 a.m. practice once a week.
Perfect.
So at least to get in there at least once a week to get that embodiment piece, because it really is important.
Okay.
Is accessible, and then for people who are able to, that morning class is just, it's really yummy.
And so this is adults.
Yes, well, it's adults. I have an adult program, and then we have a youth program. The youth we don't do the embodiment piece with, but we do from 12 to 19. And it is so awesome for them, because you're basically mindfulness is such a universal platform. It's basically saying this is what it means to be human, and this is how we work with our thoughts, our emotions. This is how we listen to our body and understand what our body's telling us, and to give that information to teenagers. My teenagers all the time say, I wish everyone at my school knew this stuff. Like,
For like a finance class, and maybe that should just be like, right? Like two hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Becky, this was such good information. I'm so glad you came back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I feel like we learned a whole new aspect of what you do, and it's beautiful.
Thank
It
you.
really
It's a
is.
great
Thank
approach.
you.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thanks.
Coming up next on Studio Chatter, we'll talk about something a lot of our youth are missing. Welcome back. We've focused a lot on mental health issues for our children. How can we help them be strong through the rough times? Let's welcome Luke Marvin from Sandstone Psychology to the table. Welcome.
Glad to be here. This is fun.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Let's dive right into a little bit who you are and where your practice is.
Okay. So I'm a licensed psychologist, and I have a practice in Payson. I'm one of the owners of Sandstone. And kind of our mission is to reach rural and kind of underserved areas with mental health. So we have, all kinds of different services that we provide. Right now we have about 35 therapists that work with us and have offices in Payson, Salem. We're actually coming to Spanish Fork in October.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then have another office in Nephi. We're going to open in Fillmore, Cedar City, and Hyde Park area, kind of North Cache Valley.
Okay.
So we're kind of expanding and just trying to help underserved areas.
And we're considered rural and
Ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which surprises me a little bit, right? I feel like we've got everything.
Yeah,
but we're not.
we're still
Yeah,
kind of
we're
on the
still
corner.
there.
We have
Yeah.
So what do you specialize in, or what have you come with us today about specifically?
Yeah, I personally specialize in working a lot with teens and young adults. I did my dissertation in social and emotional resilience and kind of helping that group. But in terms of our clinic, we do kind of everything,
Okay.
but my personal kind of population I work with is more geared towards that age group.
Resilience. Let's dive into that. Like, why did you choose that?
Well, it's kind of a fun term, right? Like
Yeah.
resilience is something that, you put pressure on and it snaps back to its original shape. But kind of what they're finding in the research is that we can do more than that as humans. We can actually grow through our traumas, through our trials, through our difficulties, and that's what I love about therapy. Just being able to really help people understand where their pain comes from, and as they get more insight and heal through their pain, they're often very much stronger people with more skills, more intimacy, more opportunities in their life that they didn't have before those challenges. So
So do you think resilience is a mental health issue?
I think resilience is a human
tool.
condition issue.
Okay.
At least it's in our power to become more resilient.
Right.
And so I think therapy, meditation, mindfulness, other exercises can help us build more resilience to deal with pain better, but also have higher access to like a higher quality of life. So.
Okay.
So why are we struggling with resilience? Like, what are some of those issues that we're maybe not facing or facing that's challenging?
Well, I brought something to
You
show
did?
you right
Okay.
here, actually.
Let's see it.
Here you go. You guys ever seen one of these before?
Why, yes. Yes, I have.
A few of them.
So I would say our mental health crisis, big time, is propelled by these little
Okay.
critters. And the reason why resilience is when we can go through hardship and do better and better, like I mentioned, but we don't have to go through hardship when we have these at all.
Explain, expand.
If something's mildly irritating, I can grab this and swipe, scroll, tap, do whatever, and I'm kind of having a little bit of pleasure, a little bit of excitement. Not a lot, usually, sometimes it's chuckles.
Some escape.
But I
from where you
definitely
just
escape,
were.
I
Yeah.
definitely avoid. And we've learned through psychotherapy research and philosophy, really, that when we avoid our pain, we suffer more. And so psychotherapy helps us face our pain in an appropriate way so we can grow more. And these little critters help us avoid our pain.
So
and
then
it's
we
very
keep
effective at it.
swiping and trying to find that high.
To
or
your
that-
personalized algorithm.
Right.
I'm sure TikTok's got you all figured out.
I'm not on TikTok, but I'm sure they
Insta.
could figure,
I bet you're on
figure me
Insta.
out soon.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Yep.
Well, specifically to the teens. So, and going back to school, what can you maybe tell to maybe guidelines, I guess, for parents and teens going back to school? They've had these all summer long. So how can you pull away from those, or
Put it in check, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. How do we do that?
Well, I think a piece of that is helping them learn an old school thing called being bored. Something that
do
they
they
don't
even
get-
know how to do that
They
anymore?
don't. Not much. They don't. Not much anymore.
I don't think any of us, it's not just teens, right? I think we're
Yeah.
all searching for that level of excitement all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
But I think kind of helping them cultivate a belief in themselves through sometimes those quiet, slow moments where they're, maybe they're figuring out how to do a Rubik's Cube or build a puzzle or what's it like to grow a garden. Have we forgotten about those
Build
skills?
a blanket fort.
You better believe it. Yeah.
Maybe some things that take longer to get the gratification rather
Yes.
than the quick.
Kind of that delayed gratification.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we put a little or a lot of blame on parents for not just stepping in and giving guidelines or limits? Do you think they're saying, here, take it, without any guidelines?
Yeah. Go
I mean,
ahead.
sometimes, I'll let the pediatricians and the child experts kind of answer
Okay.
that
Yeah.
a little bit more. But I think parents are doing their best
Okay.
for sure. We're learning and growing too. I have 4 children from the ages of 9 to 5, and I'm constantly figuring out I don't think that worked too well. Maybe we need to try it this way.
Okay.
The 1 hour screen time rule sometimes isn't the rule, right? So
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like we don't even know what to do
Yeah.
with it. We were given it too, and we're just like, I feel like we didn't know we had the flip, and we were just like, oh, it was a way
Yeah.
to contact. And now
Yeah.
it's just grown into a beast.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are some things that we can do to help initiate resilience?
I think, talking a lot with our children, making sure they have love, making sure they, we're very attuned to when they feel shame or judgment. I think that helps a lot, just our relationship, keeping that very strong with them. And then I think as parents, we're kind of like emotion coaches. Things are hard. This is a weird globe we live on. And so when things get hard, we're not afraid of it, but we're going to slow down and really tune in here and connect and try to figure out a way to make the right choices despite our hardships. And so kind of coaching them along and not telling them necessarily always what to do, how to feel, what to think, what are your values, and helping them have courageous decisions they have to make sometimes. But
So you're saying that's a way to build resiliency in the kids, is having those tough conversations when they're having a bad day at school, or their friends made them, feel left out, or
and letting them struggle and figure it out sometimes.
because we kind of want to swoop in and
Oh, yeah.
save them. It's never fun to see someone we love in pain.
It's hard.
We
It's
feel
hard.
like we have all the answers because we've lived through it, but they haven't. And I think that's so hard. You want to keep them from the pain or the
Yeah.
hurt or fix it.
And that's what develops that grit or that resilience, that they go through hardship. In the research, they call a steeling effect, so like iron steel.
Okay.
But they go through fire a little bit and, tap into those resources. We're a resource, but ultimately they have to feel and make those decisions often on their own to learn, to grow, to become stronger. But
How do you know sometimes, like, if you need a resource, or if maybe if your child doesn't have resilience? What are the
Yeah.
signs, maybe?
I would say, if you notice that they have a lot of avoiding behaviors, or they're very quick to give up on simple tasks, something that, hey, if you stuck with that for a few minutes, you could get there. But just, how quickly do they give up? Just kind of monitoring their own emotional regulation is pretty helpful.
At what point do you decide to come and meet with someone like you?
When it starts to impact life,
Okay.
you're struggling in school, you're struggling with relationships, you're having a hard time getting to the grocery store, whether it's anxiety, depression, sometimes just getting out of bed. And that's often what it shows in the DSM, which is the Diagnostic Manual for Mental Illness. But when it starts to affect 2 or more areas of life and they're reporting significant distress,
Okay.
definitely go talk to somebody. At least get screened, at least sit down, do an intake, do a few sessions, but
Okay.
it's kind of the guideline.
You also talked about that we live in an underserved area. Oftentimes there might even be a waiting list. Why is that? Or how do we best get on a waiting list?
Yeah, I mean, per capita, Utah struggles in general, and certainly when you get to more of our rural communities, the number of therapists per people who are needing therapy, we struggle with that. But yeah, I mean, to get on waiting lists is kind of a pain, and especially when it's imminent and you're in crisis, and there's
Yeah.
other resources that we have to help with crisis moments.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's, do your homework, try to call around, find good therapists that have similar values, similar things to what you're wanting at home. And sometimes you have to know somebody to get in a little bit.
I was just going to say, I think that sometimes we feel like therapy means we're broken, so we try and stay away from that aspect. I can fix my kid, they don't need to go there. But then also, who do I trust to fix them? And what does that look
big
like?
ones
That's really
parents talk
hard.
about.
Yeah.
And as parents, I would encourage you to sit down with the therapist and work with them, with your child, and really get to know them and do systemic work. Because it's not the child on an island. The system can heal them and help
Yeah.
them, and parents
Okay.
are the best resource.
Okay. So Sandstone Therapy. or
Sandstone Psychology.
And you were talking about different office locations. Do you also do Zoom, or
Yep.
is everything in person?
No, we do probably about 20% of our sessions through teletherapy.
Okay.
And we also serve autism populations. We do med management, kind of do everything, psych testing, group therapy. So,
Okay. So we can just
Yep.
Google Sandstone Psychology, find your locations, contact, set up a time.
we'll be here to help.
I already feel calmer.
Yeah. Thanks.
Awesome.
Talking about resiliency, that's not a word that you just talk about every
Right.
day. So that
Yeah.
was a good reconnect.
Yeah. No, it's
Perfect.
been awesome to be here.
Thanks,
Thank
Lou.
you.
Thanks so much. There's more studio chatter coming up. Welcome back. What did we learn today?
We love t-shirts.
Yeah, we get giddy about t-shirts.
We did.
Right?
Yeah, that was super
That was
fun.
fun.
That was fun.
And I mean, t-shirts are not like a new idea, but a Spanish Fork t-shirt
It's a new idea.
is a new idea. I love that. There's always new stuff,
Yeah.
guys. And we got little stickers, which
Yeah.
I think those are
So
And I'll
super
just
fun
say it
too.
again, it wasn't new. I found it
Because
first.
Natasha found it first.
I found it
They're
first.
so last year to you, huh? Okay, so I really, geez, all of them, but I wanted to swing back by to Becky from Lifehouse. Like that was really a cool thing, just because I know it's like about centering and turning inward and meditating, but exercising, and I loved her whole idea of connecting.
A
it
new
all.
approach.
Well,
The
and I feel
whole
like
spectrum.
you kind of had that same approach, it sounds
Yeah.
like, with how you do stuff.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
love that she's like
I love the
offering that.
mindfulness. Like, I need to be more present. I feel like I need to meditate.
Okay, and she said they're starting August 21st.
Yeah. So
What
it's a
day
good
does
time.
school start, by the way?
August 16th. Really soon. I'm
It's just
super
right around the corner.
unprepared.
Which
Oh my
brings
gosh.
us to our middle school teacher. Which
Oh my
Isn't
gosh.
she so fun?
she's
so cute.
darling. Yeah.
They're going to love her.
I guess she's
She's just happy and
ton of
excited
energy.
and animated, and I just
Yeah.
love that. That's what
Very
they
well
need.
over.
They need happy.
And you guys still meet every year to meet up at the Nutcracker, right?
Yes.
Up at Capitol Theater. That's a sweet tradition.
It's
That
a super
is.
fun tradition. And that will be here before you know it
I
as
know.
well. I know.
Guys, it's
Wow.
flying. And then Luke was awesome.
Resilience. That's a
Resilience.
good word. That's like a word that you could really study for a while and probably learn a lot of cool things
Yeah.
about.
And like you said, bounce back, but we just don't have to bounce back to where we were. Resilience is like growing
Yeah.
and becoming more.
Very good.
Bigger and yeah.
Well,
a
Natasha,
lot of
since
good.
you're the only one with school age kids, what tips of trends, back to school trends for middle schoolers and elementary kids right now?
Like fashions?
Yeah.
I don't love them this year. There's not any that we really love or have. Cargo pants are really popular.
They're back.
They're back.
I've seen overalls placed, like the denim overalls. Have they
I
been
bought
around
some
for a while?
cargos at Old Navy, and I love them. They
Oh,
have
you
a
like them?
drawstring bottom, and they're really cute, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overalls.
So maybe
Would you
try
do
them.
overalls again? I guess I do have mustard
do
yellow
have 'em.
overalls. But I remember wearing overalls in like 90, 99,
Yeah.
2000 from the Gap.
Is
Yeah.
it still kind of like everything a mishmash right
Yeah,
now?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Nikes still
Nikes
popular?
are still super popular.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The name brand stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't done a bunch of shopping yet.
Okay, when you shop, where are you going, or what online website would you?
I don't know yet.
I'm just shocked. She has
I
no
know
answers.
we're super far behind.
No, it's still summer.
You just
though.
usually-
Maybe
Okay.
that's why. I know
Right,
we're
we just
usually
got it.
usually ahead of the game. But
And my guess is they don't need anything.
not really.
So you're just gonna
I don't-
shop
maybe,
to shop
maybe that's why.
sometimes.
Maybe it's just been so hot.
To go buy long pants right now is silly.
It's silly.
Mm-hmm.
Use your summer clothes. Get a couple of like first, second day outfits, right?
And then shop in
And then after
September
that,
once you
yeah.
can go see what everyone's wearing and what the trends are and what you like.
Maybe ask me next time.
Okay. Okay.
Deal.
When you have some,
Sound like a plan?
honey, you're 3 weeks away from the first
I
day of
know.
school. As of filming today, wow.
I know. Maybe
Good
I'm
luck.
just procrastinating this year.
Procrastinate away. They have shorts and
this-
tees they can wear.
I bought Knox a backpack and a lunchbox.
Haven't
so-
even done that, right?
Well, you know how I
get
take
going.
my grandkids out once they're in school to go school shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Lainey, she's 8 now, and she said, "So Grandma, I really don't love shopping." And I'm like, who would have known after last year? But this is what she said, "But I really still want to spend time with you.
Oh.
Can we just have a day together?"
Oh. So will you just buy your stuff and then
Yeah.
go like pedicures or what would she
I'm
want?
going to go take her to see Barbie.
Oh, perfect.
And she told me
Oh,
her
super
favorite
good.
restaurant's Texas Roadhouse.
I love this girl.
So we're
She
gonna do
is
that.
so great.
And I'll just get her some things, and we won't even have to go shopping. I just hope
I
she
kind of
likes
like
what I buy
that.
it. Yeah.
I took Knox and Oli together last year, and it actually went really well. They were like darling together, but I don't know what to do because now Lula, they'll go to preschool, so I'll buy him just one little thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. 4 together sounds like a lot,
Jeez.
I
guys.
wouldn't do it.
Well, good
Okay,
luck.
Well, good luck to you.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, we'll talk about it next time,
Okay.
right? Thanks for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and learned something new too. Please share our program with your friends.